Make sure you don't fall into the imposter syndrome trap. It's called a trap because it actually doesn't exist. And I'm going to show you why and what to do when you start thinking you're not good enough. Hi, I'm Simon Phillips, creator of the Changemaker Pledge and host of the Change Show with Simon Phillips podcast. Imaginatively titled, I think. Anyway, this is my new YouTube channel, so make sure you subscribe and click the notification button so that you can grow your change-making skills. Have you ever had that feeling that you just weren't good enough and you hoped nobody would find out? People call it the imposter syndrome. Sounds grand, doesn't it? But it isn't, and I'm going to tell you why. But first of all, let me say congratulations. You've joined the human race. You're now one of us, imperfect, unable to get everything right, and filled with more self-doubts than seems humanly possible. And secondly, let me just tell you a quick story. So way back when, I used to work for Anderson Consulting, they're now called Accenture, and I was one of those people that made the grade of manager really quickly, which was great, I thought. It meant more money, it meant more responsibility. I thought it might have made people respect me more even. But in fact, the opposite happened, or at least it did in my mind. For about 6 months, all I could do all day, every day, was worry, was I good enough? Would the other experienced managers be looking at me as if to say, what on earth is he doing? Would the people in my team notice that I didn't have all the answers? Would my manager start to regret the decision of promoting me? But the only outcome from all that worry was my performance did actually plummet. And with it, my self-confidence and my desire to keep going. Anyway, I had a good manager and he noticed what was going on and he said, Simon, come in, let's have a chat. So he asked me what was going on and I told him my woes. And then he said something that really struck a chord. He said, Simon, what did you expect? He said, everything that you've been doing in the last 6 months is brand new. You've never done it before. He said, we don't promote people because they've got everything they need. We promote people because they've got the right mindset to learn what they don't know and do their best while they're learning. So the reality was what I was feeling was normal. In fact, would you believe how normal I was? 70%, this was a survey from 2007, 70% of people said that they had at some point in their career fallen foul of imposter syndrome. Even Einstein, one of the smartest people to have ever set foot on the planet, confessed to being an involuntary swindler at one point. So these emotions I was feeling and the issues maybe you're confronting are absolutely normal. What's not normal and what's not correct is this title of imposter syndrome. Now, here's an interesting fact. Historically, women have reported feeling this sensation of imposter syndrome way more than men. I'm not that surprised. Women do seem to be a lot brighter than men sometimes, don't they? But I bet you didn't realize that this term became really popular during the 60s and 70s when women started entering the corporate spaces. And it was constantly suggested to them, well, maybe you've got a little bit of imposter syndrome now that you've been promoted to the same level as the men around you. In a way, it became a self-fulfilling prophecy. The more women that felt a sense of imposter syndrome, the more actually felt that it was real, when in fact it was a bit of a ruse for those who were worried about the threat to male dominance in the workplace. So if imposter syndrome doesn't exist, what is it? Well, the good news is it's just a lack of confidence. And like all confidence problems, you can get over them once you feel supported and once you feel that it's okay to ask for help. So now you know, let's go. I'm going to share with you 4 steps that will help you overcome this problem. And remember, the problem is confidence, not imposter syndrome. The problem with this notion of imposter syndrome is it sounds like it's something that might even be incurable. I'll never be good enough. But once we know it's just a confidence problem, we can work on it. So here's 4 things that you can do. The first thing is stop. Stop comparing yourself to everyone else, especially those who seem to be doing a better job than you at whatever it is that you're struggling with right now. You don't know what's gone on for them. You don't know how long they've been doing this activity. You don't know how long they've been practicing things that enable them to do this particular thing well. So stop comparing. The second step is look. I want you to look at the evidence every night as you're dropping off to sleep. If you sense that you're underconfident about something, look at the evidence. Look back on the day and highlight in your mind all the things that went well. Remember, real confidence just comes from repetition. An athlete will walk into the arena confidently if they've practiced it thousands of times. You will be much better at whatever activity you're feeling like an imposter about once you've done it for a while. And to accelerate that process, look back on your day. Highlight the things in your brain that really went well. That actually creates a foundation to build on tomorrow. The third step is listen. I want you to really listen when people give you a compliment. Now, the culture in my country, in the UK, is when people give us a compliment, we say, oh, no, I couldn't possibly. But what we're doing there is ignoring the opportunity to learn and get better. We don't just learn from things that go wrong. We can learn from things that go right. And if we really listen when somebody's paying us a compliment, then we'll have the opportunity to put another brick in the wall, in the foundation of what it is we're trying to grow. So instead of pushing back on the compliment, I want you to say these two words: thank you. It's really simple, and it will embed what you've just heard into your brain. So once we've stopped, looked, and listened, we're ready to go. And that's the fourth step. Just go. Just keep moving. Keep learning as you go. Keep looking. Keep listening. And make sure you never compare yourself to someone else again. Okay, if you like this, check out this other video. 5 surprising things I wish I'd known before I got started. Just after you've subscribed. See you next time.